Welcome to my channel Russ Move. In today's video I'll show you how to bring your bodyweight training to the next level with gymnastic rings, and I'll walk you through the most important ring exercises along with clear ways to scale them, from beginner-friendly variations to advanced progressions. Gymnastic rings are one of the most versatile training tools you can invest in, and definitely something you won't regret. They open up a whole new dimension of bodyweight training to build real functional strength, deep stability, improved muscle development, and healthier joints and tendons. They also bring a more holistic and mindful quality into your training. Training with rings offers you something unique, full freedom of movement. Instead of forcing your joints into a fixed path, rings allow your shoulders, elbows and wrists to rotate naturally. This is why ring training is so joint-friendly. Your body can adapt the movement to the position that feels healthy, without you even having to think about it. This freedom creates better alignment, less stress on the joints and the connective tissue, and therefore helps prevent injuries and imbalances. At the same time, that freedom also demands control. Every movement and every hold requires your stabilizers to work. This leads to a deeper, more functional strength that is usable in the real world, and at the same time improves muscle building. You get more options and more variations for every exercise, and the progressions are endless. Rings remove the biggest limitation of bodyweight training by giving you something to pull from and push at different angles and heights. And the best part is, you can use rings almost anywhere. On tree branches in nature or in public parks, just look for branches at a reasonable height. They don't even need to be perfectly straight because you can adjust each strap individually. If a branch is too high to reach, simply fold the strap and throw it over. You can also use railings, playground structures, calisthenics parks, or mount them at home from a ceiling anchor or a sturdy beam. Get creative. You naturally start noticing more suitable structures once you start looking for them. You can hang your rings from anything that's stable enough to support your weight and high enough for the range you need for your workout. Once the strap is around your anchor point, make sure the buckle faces away from the ring side and the strap feeds through cleanly, flat, not twisted. So the setup is safe and secure. Alright, let's begin with the exercises. The first exercise is ring push-ups. Start by adjusting the rings to about knee height. Grip them with your palms facing inward and begin pushing just like a regular push-up. You'll notice immediately that you can go much deeper, which makes the exercise more intense and more effective. If you want to emphasize your chest, rotate your palms slightly forward at the top position. To decrease the difficulty, simply walk a step forward. You can also start with the rings higher, but beginning at a lower height gives you the chance to perform a few very intense repetitions and then transition into a few easier reps as fatigue sets in, similar to a drop set. Find the position that allows you to perform around 8 to 12 clean repetitions and no more than 12 in your last set. You'll quickly find the right intensity after a little experimenting. If you want a more intense progression, especially for the upper chest, perform archer push-ups. One arm pushes while the other stretches out to the side. Or go into ring flies, where both arms open outward. The longer lever increases the intensity significantly and requires more control and stability. To shift the focus more towards your shoulders and build overhead strength, perform pike push ups. Move into a downward dog-like position and press through your shoulders. The steeper you go, the harder it gets. For maximum intensity, adjust the rings close to the ground. You can still go deeper than with regular pike push-ups, which makes the exercise much harder, in addition to the instability of the rings. To make the exercise easier, simply walk a few steps forward until you find your right intensity. To shift the focus more towards your triceps, you can perform triceps extensions. Adjust the rings to around knee height, grab them with your hands, take a couple of steps forward and let your arms fall over your head with control. Then push back up through your triceps. Keep your elbows from flaring out too much and stay controlled, especially in the lowering phase. As always, adjust the difficulty by stepping forward or backward. One of the most epic ring exercises is the ring dip. They feel very challenging at first because of the unfamiliar stabilizing strength required, but that's exactly what makes them so effective. However, you'll get used to it very quickly. If you're not there yet, and that's completely normal even for trained athletes new to rings, start by practicing a simple support hold in the top position. Just hold yourself steady without moving. At the same time, begin practicing negative dips. Jump or step into the top position and lower yourself slowly with control. That alone builds strength very quickly. Soon you'll be able to perform full ring dips. And once you do, you'll train your chest, shoulders and triceps, and at the same time your core and many smaller stabilizers all in one movement. And yes, they also look quite cool. The first pull exercise is the bodyweight row. This one trains primarily your upper back but also your biceps and rear shoulders. Adjust the rings about hip high, grab them with your hands and move your body under them. Now pull up and lower yourself down with control, just like regular bodyweight rows. Adjust the angle by walking your feet forward or backward. The more horizontal your body becomes, the more intense the row. You can also bend your knees to make them easier. Keep a long neutral spine, pull your shoulder blades together and let the movement come from your back. Try different grips as well. Rings allow for natural rotation, which makes the exercise very joint friendly. Next are ring bicep curls. Like the name implies, with these you'll shift the focus more to your biceps. Grab the rings so that your palms face toward you. Move into a steeper angle by walking a few steps backward to get used to the movement. Lift your arms up and begin pulling your forearms towards your head, engaging your biceps. You can fine-tune the intensity instantly by changing your body angle. A steeper angle makes it easier, a flatter angle makes it more difficult. Keep your shoulders relaxed and stable and move only through the elbows for a clean curl. Pelican curls are a more advanced variation for training your biceps. Again, start with a steeper angle to get used to the movement. Also only perform this exercise when you're warmed up properly. Lean forward, let your arms open behind you and curl back up with control. Go only as far into the stretch as you can stabilize. This exercise is very demanding, so take your time and stay mindful in each rep. Face pulls are perfect for training your upper back and your rear shoulders. The intensity can be adjusted by changing your body angle from very easy to highly demanding. Grab the rings, move a few steps backward and pull them toward your face, bringing your elbows into roughly a 90 degrees angle while externally rotating your shoulders. Now we move into ring pull-up progressions. Ring pull-ups are so great because your grip position is not fixed and thus your arms can move freely, making them a very joint-friendly exercise compared to bar pull-ups. And this really helps preventing pulling injuries such as golfer's elbow. Adjust the rings as high as possible, then grab them and pull yourself up as high as you can and lower yourself down with control. You can let your body decide naturally what is the best grip position or experiment a bit with grip variations. Or you can use a pronated grip to shift the focus to your lat and a supinated grip to shift the focus to your biceps. In my experience, the most natural way to start is with a pronated grip at the bottom and then gradually rotate into a supinated grip toward the top position. If you can't perform ring pull-ups yet, start with negative pull-ups. Step or jump to the top position and lower yourself slowly and controlled. From there, work toward full pull-ups and when you're ready, explore changing grips and free grip rotations through the rings. The first lower body exercise is the Bulgarian split squat. Adjust the rings about knee high or lower if you want an easier progression, place the backside of one foot into one ring and begin split squatting with the other leg. If you want to increase difficulty, take a step forward. Switch sides after you finish with your first leg. Split squats train your legs and especially your glutes very effectively. With rings you add an element of instability and freedom of movement, which increases intensity and load and therefore effectiveness of the exercise. Next is the assisted single leg squat. Grab both rings with your hands, take a few steps backward so that the straps are under tension, lift one leg, either bend or leave it straight for the more demanding pistol squat variation, then lower your standing leg, go as low as you can with control and lift back up. When you lift up, the rings allow you to use exactly as much assistance as you need. Assist lightly or more strongly with your arms depending on your level, just enough to help you maintain balance and a good range of motion. Over time, reduce the assistance until you're able to perform the movement mostly on your own. Leg curls with rings are a highly effective exercise for your hamstrings. Set the ring height at about 30 cm or 1 foot off the ground. Place a mat or towel if you're outside or on hard ground. Lie on your back, place your heels in the rings and curl your legs toward you. Start with your hips on the ground so you can get used to the movement pattern. Once you're comfortable, lift your hips and perform the curl while keeping your body in a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. This increases the intensity significantly and activates the entire posterior chain. For an even harder variation, you can progress to single leg curls once you feel ready. The last ring leg exercise for today is the glute bridge. Again, set the rings about 30 cm or 1 foot off the ground and place your heels in the rings. Start with both feet in the rings and focus on lifting your hips while squeezing your glutes at the top, just as with regular glute bridges. The instability of the rings forces your core and stabilizes as well as your glutes to work harder, making the movement much more challenging than regular glute bridges on the floor. Once you feel confident, you can switch to single leg glute bridges. Go slow, stay controlled and focus on strong glute activation rather than lifting as high as possible. Be mindful to warm up properly before performing this exercise, especially the single leg variation, to avoid cramps or pulled muscles. Let's move into the core exercise part. The first core exercise is the hanging leg raise. Set the rings at pull-up height or as high as possible. Grab the rings, let your body hang freely and start with a simples variation. Bend your knees and lift them towards your chest. Then lower them down with control. Once this becomes comfortable, move into half straight legs and eventually into full straight leg raises. Avoid swinging and keep your body as stable as possible. The goal is to raise your legs by engaging your core, not by creating momentum. Try to squeeze your core at the top to target all parts of your abs. You can also perform leg raises in the dip position. Support yourself on straight arms and start with bent knees, lifting them toward your chest. This variation challenges your hip flexors, core and shoulder stability. If you want to increase difficulty, straighten your legs and lift them as high as possible while keeping your body still. This is a demanding movement, so stay focused and move slowly through the full range. Ring rollouts are similar to an ab wheel, but much smoother and more natural for your joints and also better to scale in difficulty. Start with the rings about knee high, grab the rings with your arms and slowly extend your arms forward while keeping your core tight. Start with a short range of motion to get used to the exercise. As your strength and stability improve, reach further forward to increase the lever. The longer the lever, the harder the exercise becomes. Move with full control and avoid letting your lower back collapse. You can always move a few steps forward to decrease difficulty, or lower the rings to increase difficulty. The last core exercise is a series of movements with your feet in the rings. Set the rings about 30 cm off the ground, place the backs of your feet in the rings and move into a push-up or plank position with your arms. Now begin to pull your feet towards your arms, focusing on strong core engagement. Pull as far as possible and bring your feet back to the starting position with control. This exercise combines core strength with balance and full body tension, making it extremely effective and functional. Before we finish, I want to show you one more thing. You can also use rings for stretching, especially for the upper body where stretching can often feel limited without support. Start by reaching your arms overhead and letting the rings gently open your shoulders and upper chest. Then you may move into a side stretch by leaning to each side while holding the rings. You can also stretch downwards to target your lats and the entire backside of your upper body. And finally, stretch each arm individually. Be creative and experiment what stretches benefit your body and hold each of them for at least 30 seconds. Those were the most important ring exercises. Everything you need to know to begin training with rings or to advance your practice. Perform these exercises in a full body workout or in a split routine, and you can expect to get stronger, more muscular and build real functional strength. Start slow and mindful and find your way gradually into the exercise and movement patterns. And no rush, you have all the time in the world to get used to it. And if any exercise eventually becomes too easy, you can always add weight with a backpack filled with books or water bottles or anything heavy. Check out my other videos on mindful strength and my guided bodyweight workout sessions, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to stay tuned for all upcoming videos. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments and leave a like if you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video.